Hey guys, how you doing? Mowers and Blowers here again. So this is number 7 of my 11 Toro Snow Commanders. This is the one with the electric start. It's model 38602. 602 is the one with electric start. 600 is the one without electric start. And as you guys have seen, I've done, some repairs to these, but out of the 11, I mean, I'm telling you, I really lucked out because I haven't done a carburetor clean yet. They've all started up with 1 or 2 pulls, so it's worked out really well. They've had minor things. 95% of them needed new primer bulbs, which is no big deal. It's a couple bucks, Some adjustment to the handles and the auger engagement cable. Some I needed to fabricate chute handles and do some unbending of the front frame that was, bent in. So I just bent them out. So yeah, man, I've had good luck with them so far. Out of the 11, I've fixed 6 already. This is the number 7, and this one looks better than the others. I mean, the paddles look good. The others had a little bit of wilting on the rubber paddles. But, I just connected this garden extension cord into the electric start, and we're just going to give it a try. All right. Yep, I jinxed it. The minute I said they all started up, this one will be the one that doesn't start up. That doesn't sound too good. That doesn't sound good either. Sounds like that teeth are going on that one too. I have a feeling I'm going to have to take this all apart because the starter sounds like it has issues and it won't start, so I know I'm going to have to do a carb clean on it at least. I mean, it could not be getting spark, so which means I still got to take it apart to get access to the spark plug. Oh boy. So I got it on its face, and it appears that there's a little compartment here that makes it easy to access the carburetor. I'm gonna have to remove the top cowling anyway, but I'll take this off to check out the carburetor. But to get the starter out, or at least to look at it, I have to take off the chute and the cowling. But looks like it's just 2 screws there, 5/16, I believe, to just get that compartment off so we can have access to the carburetor. Really easy, just those 2 bolts, and this cover just came right off. There's the carburetor. Same thing as the 3650 plastic one. And it's pretty easy to remove. It's just 2 Phillips screws right there to remove it, and the linkage. I disconnected the fuel line here, and no fuel is coming. Oh, you know what? Because I have it on its face. Duh. Anyway, so 2 screws, loosened them here. And just pull it out, just like that. I'm going to have to use 2 hands so I don't screw up the linkage, guys, and that gasket. So it's just that governor linkage right there, a Z-bend, and that primer hose that was detached from there. You can't mess it up because it's only 1 linkage rod that goes into 1 hole, so you'll know that's it. Just got to remember that this gasket over here is like that. Usually you should try to take pictures of it. So I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna disassemble this. I'm gonna take those 4 screws off and see if it's dirty. It has to be, because it Even after I shot some carburetor cleaner in there, it wouldn't start up, not even close. So it's got to be clogged somehow, which is the first out of the 7 that I've done that have had that won't start. So this is a first. That's because I jinxed it. I'm going to take that off now. Okay, so that float bowl is off. There's just 4 Phillips screws. Really wasn't very tight on there, but I've noticed that with the plastic ones, you don't want to over tighten because they strip. So what's interesting about this float is that it's not hollow, not plastic, but it's actually cork, and it's solid cork, which is great because you'll never get it to have holes in it so that it saturates with fuel and it weighs it down. This will always be good, you know, so that's good. This mesh part acts as a fuel filter, actually. And what it is there's an inner and outer jet that you have to unscrew very carefully because they can strip very easily too. I think it's brass, so soft metal. You want to get precise screwdrivers to get to that jet. Once you remove that jet, there are a bunch of holes in there, and if anything, those are the ones that are clogged. It doesn't really look bad, so I'm a little perplexed as to why it didn't start or even had signs of starting. Perhaps the spark plug or something like that, but I'll know more later. First I'm going to clean this step after step, right? Put that back and then remove the cowling and check out the spark and then the starter. So that's the little center one, and the hole is clean. Still perplexed. I'm going to take this big one out. Here's the big jet. Got little tiny holes. And I stuck this wire in there. And nothing seems to be coming out, so I think it's pretty clear. Again, perplexed. I'm going to blast it out with some carburetor cleaner. So it's nice and clean now. See the holes? So I just put the carb back on after I cleaned it, and it was easy to put back on. Just reverse engineer exactly how I took it apart. So now I'm going to address why it doesn't start. I'm going to take this panel out, 2 5/16 screws, screw there, screw there. I have to take this chute off to get this cover off. Once I get the cover off, I'll have better access to the starter, which I need to address, and also the spark plug to see and check if we're getting any spark. Those screws are out, and I took the chute and handle off. Took the gas tank off. Cowling just comes right off. Alright, so just looking at it, I don't see any obvious signs of damage to the starter, but I'm pretty sure the teeth are kind of ground up. Alright, here's a spark plug. I'm going to take this out, and I'm going to take the spark plug out, reconnect it and see if we get any spark. Yucky. So I just took the spark plug out and put the spark plug back into the boot. I connected the electric start. Let's see if we see a spark. I don't know. I didn't see a spark. Did you guys? I did see a spark. You guys saw it? I saw it. Yep, there's a spark. Well, maybe I should try and start it then. It's already ground up, so I'm just trying to get the turn. I guess I'm going to try to pull start it. There you go, one pull. So the problem, I think, is just, I think it might be a fuel line problem, or it could be bad fuel. I was looking at that fuel inside the thing, it's like brown. I'm gonna drain that fuel tank, clean the gas line, and take that starter out, because we know that starter motor is trashed. And I know I can sell it for at least 20-30 bucks, because the other one I took out sold today on eBay for exactly that, 30 bucks. Cool. Good thing we started it. So there's one bolt back here. Obviously it's moving as I'm pushing it, which is no good. I'll have to use two hands. There's a thing over here, which is attached to the starter. I'm going to have to remove the starter anyway, so I'm going to take that off. And then there's a another bolt right here. Pretty tight. Anyway, I'm going to have to use two hands. Here's the gas tank. It's kind of a pain to get out, to be honest with you. Anyway, I'm going to drain the gas now. Look what's in it, man. Like mud water. Gross. Now I wonder why it didn't start, huh? Look at that. That's gas. That's not supposed to look like that. Crazy, man. Looks like it's been sitting there for quite a while. Alright, so you're going to think I'm gross, but I just tried blowing into here and I can't blow anything. It's stuck. It's collapsed or something maybe, or maybe the fuel filter is trashed. I'm going to have to remove the fuel filter. So I took this part off. It's clear. And I just thought, well, I know why, because when I blow in here, the bowl is full. So if the bowl is full, then the needle is blocking the seat. So of course I can't blow into it. It's full. So the bowl is probably full of that bad gas, which is why it doesn't work. Which is why it only worked when I shot the carb cleaner in the carburetor. So now I have to drain the float bowl in the carburetor, which means I have to take that panel off again. Ugh. Alright, so I took the bowl off. There really wasn't that much in there, which concerns me again. But here, I'll show you. Can't blow, right? Okay, now you move this like that so that the seat is open. So look. Now fuel is getting in there, right? It would, I'm saying, with the air. Then when it fills up, it closes and you can no longer blow. So the seat and the needle is working well. Don't know why it didn't fire up before. I'm going to put everything back after I clean the gas tank, put it back on, put some fresh fuel in there, and then give it a try. So I've replaced the gas tank on there, as well as the lines, and I've blown them out, put the carburetor back again, and I also was, during the process, was able to take the starter out. So the starter is trashed, just like I told you. I mean, the motor still works, but the gears are trashed. See? Just like I said. So this model will just simply not have a starter. No big deal. People don't really use them anyway. You just pull it. So gas tank is clean, lines are clean, carburetor's clean. Got spark. We started it before, so we know we have compression. So all I have to do now is put fresh gas in it, and it should start up. This primer bulb's a little hard. Doesn't really pop up. It's not very elastic. Doesn't pop up very much. I don't like that. I should write that eBay guy who sold it to me. This is old stock. I'm not hearing anything. Yeah, that ought to do it. Alright. I need to prime it a little bit more. A lot of smoke. Just needed a few more primes, and I had to wait until the fuel got into the carburetor, you know, gravity, trickle down, you know, fill the bowl, all that stuff. So yeah, man, I mean, that's all it is to it, you know. There's no other logic behind not starting. As long as you got compression, you got a spark, and you have a fuel delivery system that you know is reaching the combustion. That's just science, man. It's going to work. I was pretty confident it was, you know. It was just the bad gas. The bad starter and the bad gas. If it's a bad starter, it's not going to spin at the right RPMs to get the proper amount of spark to ignite the fuel in the chamber, right? So that's why even a pull wouldn't work, because the gas was bad. That primer bulb sucks, but you know, it works if you keep pushing it. It's fine. All right, well, I'm gonna put this mess together, and this is number 7, all fixed. Gonna sell that on eBay, as I always do. And this was one of the harder ones out of the 7 that I fixed. This one was the most trouble that I had to go through to fix. And ironically, I said this looked great, and this was probably going to be the best one. So never say it, because it's going to jinx you. Anyway, see you guys next time on Mowers and Blowers.